Greetings ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this patch video for Thief Lord from the website Royal Road. This patch video will contain chapters 19 and 20, and as always I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider subscribing. Chapter 19, Grind. You have slain Sewer Rat 4, gain 25 experience. You have slain Sewer Rat 5, gain 45 experience. You have slain Sewer Rat 5, gain 45 experience. I shake my head as I get back on my feet, blood dripping from my gauntlets, and I have blood spatter all over my linen pants. That fight was brutal. I can't believe that I had to storm the front line swinging a crossbow around like a sledge. I look down towards the bloody crossbow in my hands. Frick, this thing is pretty half-decent bat. I mumble as I raise the weapon in front of my eyes, inspecting it carefully. The string has become soggy by absorbing the blood, and an old crack of the stock seems to have become slightly wider. I am unsure how long it'll last until it's rendered unusable. One thing's for certain, though, it's not supposed to be used this way. I shrug as I turn my head around to take a look at my surroundings. My level 3 hoodlum is resting on the ground beside me, tending to the many wounds. The sounds of combat from the tunnel behind me has ceased, and since I didn't receive a notification that one of my underlings died, then there is no need for me to rush back. One thing is perfectly clear, though. I need to find a better way of fighting. My tactic has more holes in it than Swiss cheese, and I can't just run up and hammer away at my enemies as if I'm a regular adventurer. I need to fight smarter, not harder. But what changes can I make? I sigh as I pinch the bridge of my nose. If I'm careful, I should be able to fight these monsters up close like this, but I can't keep an efficient pace since I don't have access to healing magic or a versatile group composition. I mainly just have a bunch of bloodthirsty NPCs, but that won't help me if I have to face a group of skilled players. I think I need to change my character development path, and I need to do it sooner rather than later. I frown as a ton of ideas and potential solutions filter through my mind. It's not a decision I should take lightly, and I can't rush into anything. At least, I don't have to make the decision until I actually gain some more skill points. So, my main concern should be trying to level up as soon as possible. I hear the sounds of the rest of my underlings approach behind me. I turn around just in time to see my unit stroll around the corner, their bodies littered with wounds. I wince as I see it, and a short stab of guilt passes against my chest. I'm starting to understand why the game developers decided to make these bandits into puppets rather than seed them with a proper artificial intelligence unit. I am not sure I could handle being responsible for sending my loyal henchmen into the grinder every 15 minutes if they showed more signs of sentience. I inspect my underlings, trying to get an overview of how badly the fight went. Human Hoodlum 3, Underling, Fighter, HP 36 out of 140, Infamy Tier 1, Status Conditions, Bleeding times 3, Weak, Crippling Disease. Human Cutpurse Level 3, Underling Rogue, HP 42 out of 90, Infamy Tier 1, Status Conditions, Bleeding times 2, Weak, Crippling Disease. Wood Owl Spotter 3, Underling Ranged, HP 70 out of 70, Infamy Tier 1. Dwarf Hoodlum 3, Underling Fighter, HP 24 out of 120, Infamy Tier 1. Status Conditions, Bleeding times 4. Whoa, my underlings took that much severe beating than I thought. I know I had to fight the rats once again, but the low-level ones I fought back in the Noob District weren't quite this lethal. First of all, the Noob District rats couldn't inflict bleeding or diseases, and they weren't nearly as rough. The difficulty level skyrocketed, but I must admit that I am severely underleveled for this. The good thing is that I came to this, though, is that I have a hefty bonus to my experience gains since I defeated much stronger foes. A few more fights like this, and it won't be long until I reach level 4. It's amazing that my newest hoodlum managed to level up in this fight as well, no doubt because of the timely experience boom we received. It's a good thing, too, since it looks like she was about to kill over before she leveled up, as her health points were nearly depleted. She's lucky that leveling up increases her health points by 20. She might have been dead by now if without it. As my underlings slump to the ground and start tending to their wounds, my eyes catch the attention of the poisoner. Being a non-combatant underling, the poisoner stood idle through the entire encounter. Perhaps it was a mistake to invest in a specialist this early. I don't really have a job for her, and I could have made her carry some loot, but sadly, the rats don't drop anything. "What am I supposed to do with you?" I ask her, not expecting a reply. "Is there anything that you can do? Now would be a pretty good time for you to show off, you know." I chuckle as I shake my head. I'm glad no one is around to see this. I'm actually going so stir-crazy, I'm attempting to talk to her. My thoughts are interrupted as the poisoner starts moving towards the fallen level 5 rat beside me. She kneels down beside it and starts pushing it around, moving in closer. Trying to see what she's up to, the poisoner reaches to cut off its tail, lifting it up in front of her eyes. Squinting at the limb, she conjures a tiny metal knife and cuts off the tip of the tail, handing it over to me. Dumbfounded at sudden actions, I inspect the piece of rat tail in her hands. Tip of a sewer rat's tail, common alchemical ingredient. "What the hell?" I blurt out. "You can harvest crafting ingredients," I exclaimed in shocked manner. The research I did on the poisoner said nothing of this. How was this possible? I frown as I try to comprehend what I just witnessed. This seems like such a simple thing as well. Could it be that no one has discovered this yet? Or perhaps some has, and they have neglected to tell anyone. That could make sense. It doesn't look like it's an automated feature, since the poisoner didn't do anything until I asked. Could it be that some sort of hidden feature? Any alchemist should be able to harvest ingredients, so why not? It should be one of those basic skills in any profession. It should be obvious. Perhaps it is too obvious. Who brings a poisoner along on a grinding session anyway? I wonder how far this feature extends. Can she harvest any ingredient, or just alchemical ingredients? Can she then harvest any alchemical ingredient, or only those usable by poisons? That might be a feature as well, since I doubt every monster I kill will have the potential for producing ingredients that I need. Perhaps I stumbled upon it just by pure luck. Regardless, I can use this. This might be the tiny tip of the scales that I need to decide my future development path. Probably not, but one can always dream. First of all, though, I need to obtain those skill points. We sit around for a good 15 minutes and wait for the status effects to run out and for my underlings to naturally regenerate their hit points. It's a slow process and takes far longer than it should, but that's the downside of playing as a summoner class with no access to healing. My underlings may be strong, but they would be next to useless in a drawn-out battle. When they are finally done regenerating and my poisoner is done collecting the remaining 2 tail tips, we resume our walk towards the tunnel. We take extra care to avoid rushing into another close encounter, so I have my cut purse activate his stealth ability and walk on ahead. It shifts our formation, but with the forward scout, I no longer need both my hoodlums to stay up front. We don't have to walk for more than 50 meters or so until my cutpurse turns around and heads back, halting our advance. I wait for my cutpurse to catch up to us. "How many enemies are there?" I ask him. Well, the underling doesn't really speak. I learned that they can use basic sign language rather well. He holds up a single finger. "An enemy. That's good." "What level is it?" I asked. The cutpurse raises both hands, showing me 6 fingers. Damn, that's a tough enemy. I frown. Luckily, it's only one of them. The level difference might be too high for me to make a quick kill. The level difference actually matches quite a bit in this game, as the mob skills don't work quite like the skill levels for players. I suppose adding individual status windows were either too taxing on the game system, or it was too difficult to balance. So the developers added a feature where the skills are exponentially more powerful on mobs compared to the opponent's level. I don't have the exact numbers in my head, but what my level 3 underling might consider a tough fight versus 2 level 5 enemies might just be impossible versus the same mob, just at 1 level higher. A level 6 enemy has 3 levels on them after all, even if my underlings are all well geared. Personally, I'd rather avoid getting close to the enemy in this fight, since I haven't invested a single point into endurance. My character is super frail. I only have 50 health points after all. That could be enough for me to get one-hitted if the mob uses a powerful ability. Therefore, I decide to hand my crossbow over to the spotter. I am fairly used to the shot since I don't have any skill points invested into it, and my spotter has a compatibility with all ranged weapons. He should be able to make a far better use of it than I. With our preparations completed, I order my underlings to advance in a cautious pace. I put my spotter up front, intending for him to initiate the combat with a surprise hit with a powerful crossbow. After a few steps, a small creature comes into view. "That's not a rat," I mutter, squinting my eyes. "Is that a slime?" Up ahead, in the tunnel, is a small green gelatinous blob the size of a beach ball. There's a thin, transparent film that protects its body, consisting almost entirely of green liquid. It looks like a cartoon warning label of toxin should look like. When it moves, its entire body jiggles the same way jelly does when you poke it with a spoon. The only noticeable anomaly is a solid black sphere moving around inside its body. The slime core. I inspect the creature. Lesser slime, 6 HP, unknown out of unknown. Ouch, that's a tough one. I have fought slimes before. They are tough foes to fight, as their entire body is acidic, meaning that if making contact with the wall causes health points to plummet. They are also prone to launching themselves short distances, attempting to pin their prey onto the ground while slowly dissolving the bodies by drowning them in acid. This means that fighting one of these things is incredibly dangerous for melee-oriented players. The slimes have 3 weaknesses though. While their bodies are immune to physical damage, their core is the real weakness. It functions as the only organ in their bodies, which is what allows the entire blob of acid to move as one. It's solid, so shattering it will cause the core to die. It also is weak to magic, or any alchemical regions that alter the composition of the acidic fluid that makes up its body. Unless it's using a leap ability, the slime is also pathetically slow, which means that the concentrated range fire is the only bet of safely taking them down. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. But it's going to take a long time, especially since I only have 1 unit capable of inflicting ranged damage, and the slime has a veritable mountain of health points to sustain it for a long time. It's a battle of attrition. Either my spotter manages to wear the slime down, or the slime forces us to the corner and catches a stray underling under a leap. Luckily, I learned how efficiently to hunt slimes when I was grinding monsters deep inside the Talshog forest when I was playing as a necromancer. The best trick is to surround the slime, having my minions alternate between drawing the monster's aggro, allowing my ranged minions to safely shave off its health points with a relatively safe position. My spotter takes aim and shoots a bolt at the slime. The bolt flies true, penetrating deep into the gelatinous body, impacting the core within. Jiggling in surprise, the slime starts gliding towards us. "Go around it," I order my veteran hoodlum and cutpurse. They immediately react, splitting up to either side of the tunnel. The cutpurse takes the lead as he rushes off to the side, hugging the rightmost wall. Sensing his approach, the slime retracts its body, shaking off half a second before it bursts forward, launching itself towards the running cutpurse. Expecting the attack, the rogue dives forward using his evasion skill to narrowly dodge the slime's body. The slime crashes into a wall, splattering acid in every direction. The cutpurse gets a few drops on his arm and thigh, and I can see him wince from the pain. The acid isn't enough to do any major damage, but it should still hurt. With the slime occupied on one side of the tunnel, the hoodlum effortlessly slips past the leftmost wall. With the slime successfully surrounded on both sides, the battle of attrition can truly begin. The spotter loosens another bolt, once more shaking the slime's core. This process continues for a while. My spotter fires bolts when he can, and each and every time shaving off a few health points from the slow slime. He does miss a few times, but it only postpones the inevitable. The slime keeps trying to close the distance towards the spotter, but every time it moves too far, either my cutpurse or my hoodlum steps closer, tricking the slime to try and leap backwards. They are a few close calls, but my underlings are capable of gauging the correct distance rather quickly and can safely backstep whenever the slime is about to leap. It takes about 15 minutes or so, but the slime's core is eventually shattered, causing the slime to shudder once before it deflates into a puddle of smoking acid. This causes the familiar combat notification to appear, showing the massive experience gain I receive for killing such a high-level creature. You have slain Lesser Slime 6, gained 75 experience. As soon as the slime dies, my poisoner moves forward, quickly conjuring a glass vial from God knows where and starts scooping the liquid acid. With the vial almost full, she turns around and hands it over to me. Vial of weak slime acid, common alchemical ingredient. Nice, another ingredient. I grin as I rub my hands together. Who would have thought farming mobs in the sewer with an NPC poisoner would produce this many ingredients? I'm starting to think that the next few hours are going to be quite lucrative. End of chapter. Chapter 20. Paragon of Efficiency. I spent nearly 19 hours grinding mobs until I finally received the notification that I've been waiting for. Congratulations, you have reached level 5. You have gained 3 free attribute points and 1 skill point. It wasn't easy, but the road going forward should be less strenuous. I killed 7 more lesser slimes and 12 packs of sewer rats ranging from level 4 to 5, netting me a whole bunch of extra crafting materials. The only reason it went so fast is because I don't have to share the experience with any other players, and the mobs are far higher level than me. It won't be able to keep this up forever, as the level differences will matter more at higher levels, but for these early levels, it's a godsend. All in all, I'm pretty happy about it. The experience I gained lessened greatly after hitting level 4, but I still managed to keep a good pace at leveling. I managed to find a good rhythm with my grinding. It's tough before I reach level 4, but as soon as my dwarven hoodlum reached level 3, putting down the rats became much easier. The mobs also turned gradually weaker the stronger I became, and I really picked up the pace near the end there. Killing the monsters should be a breeze from here on out, but I think I can easily reach level 6 by tomorrow if I keep this up. That's not a bad haul at all considering it's only been 2 days. I also managed to finally settle down on a character development path. Earlier, I was far too ambitious when it came to my capabilities. Using my charisma, luck, dexterity, and intelligence attributes to their full potential seems great on paper, but it isn't practically viable. The limiting factor is skill points. I don't have the capacity to level in both the Thief Claw class, illusion magic, archery, and trap making at the same time. It's just not possible at this stage. I'll just end up with a couple half-arsed skills with each discipline, and the results will become suboptimal. What I need is to cut down on one of these paths. I thought long and hard about it, and I've decided to scrap archery. When I break it down, I realize that I shouldn't under any circumstances be active in a combat scenario, especially against other players. I need to play to my strengths. It's the best option I can have since I will still get some value out of my dexterity attribute by making traps. Ah, yes, traps. I wasn't really planning on investing much into crafting skills, but I can really start seeing the value. There's a long-known strategy to fighting monsters in role-playing games, which is called kiting. To do this, one has to aggro a bunch of enemies and have them chase you. If I can somehow bait them to walk into a trap, then I will have a large advantage. I probably won't use it against regular mobs, but it should be perfect against players, as they are known to be bullish against any possibility that they have of gaining loot or XP. This is why I decided to start investing in crafting skills as soon as I reach level 4. I pull up the trap-making skill tree. Trap-making, one of the first practical engineering skills mankind learned, was to create efficient ways to hunt animals. Trap-making is a dangerous path to tread, and it requires a steady hand, and a lot of luck. Available skills. Trigger mechanism reduces the effective of perception checks to spot a trap by 0.5 luck plus skill level. Release mechanism increases the damage dealt by the trap's payload by dexterity plus 2% times skill level. Framework. Create a framework for the trap. Makes it more difficult to dismantle the trap by 0.5 dexterity plus skill level. Disarm trap. Ability to disarm traps. Chances of success 0.7 dexterity plus 0.3 luck plus skill level. Chances to recover parts, 0.2 luck plus 0.5 times skill level. It's not a lot of skills, but crafters were never supposed to be one-trick ponies anyway. There are plenty of other skills for crafters to choose from, and crafters were never supposed to level too quickly. Trap making is also more of a lesser crafting profession, one that crafters usually pick up as a secondary or tertiary profession. A bit like wood carving or scribing, the 4 skills in the list are the core skills of trap making. For my level 4 skill point, I decided to select Disarm Trap. It's not really a vital skill to have at all, but considering the traps that are littered all over the sewers, it's a great way to level up the profession while simultaneously scavenging for parts. So far, I've found and dismantled 6 low-level traps, but I haven't managed to salvage any parts yet. I don't worry about it though. With my luck stat, it'll end up as soon treasure trove in due time. Now though, I have managed to reach level 5, and I have yet another skill to spend. I actually am a little torn. While I did decide to commit on learning all the trap-making skills, I also shouldn't neglect my class skills. At the moment, I haven't selected a single buffing skill at all. None. I should probably get at least one of them, training it up as I go along. As it stands, I am pretty useless in a fight, and if I keep putting all my skill points into trap making until level 7, then I might not be able to efficiently grind monsters to perform jobs in the near future. Gritting my teeth, I try to make up my mind. It's not an easy call, but I need to get at least one offensive skill. I've already narrowed down my choice to 4 different options, and I'm bringing them up in front of me. Fight Dirty. Gain attack damage equal to luck plus 0.5 multiplied by skill level for 1 minute plus 1 second per skill level. Cooldown 20 minutes minus 5 seconds per skill level. Fight Smart. Increases evasion by 0.2 luck plus 0.2 times skill level for 1 minute plus 1 second per skill level. Cooldown 20 minutes minus 5 seconds per skill level. Cheap Shot. Gives underlings a damage bonus to their first attack in a fight equal to luck plus skill level for 5 minutes, plus 5 seconds per skill level, or until the first attack has been made. Cooldown 20 minutes minus 5 seconds per skill level. Gang Up. Gain increased damage when fighting 3-1 by 0.5 luck plus 0.5 times skill level. They're all great skills, each offering a different benefit. I've already decided which skill to get though. It's the one with the most gain per skill level. Yep, it's Cheap Shot. I wasn't initially intending to start off with this skill since it's not overly helpful when grinding monsters. What it is useful for though is allowing me to quickly assassinate players or NPCs if I'm on a job. A quick and efficient kill before they know what hit them is an instrumental if I want to succeed. It's a slight gamble, but it's not like I won't be able to get other skills later. It's just more skill level efficient to choose it sooner rather than later. With my new skill selected, I've come upon yet another crossroads, choosing where to allocate my 6 newest attribute points. Initially, I've been trying to even out my charisma and luck score to prepare for the future, but now I'm not so sure anymore. Most of my class skills require a high luck stat, but since I've decided to focus on getting trapmaker skills for the foreseeable future, and dumping points into luck seems like a waste. Therefore, my attribute points to gain an extra underling to train should be the smartest option. It will make grinding monsters far more efficient. Without further ado, I put all 6 of my attribute points into charisma, watching it rise to 36. The only thing to do now is head back to the tavern and recruit one. During my grinding session down here, I actually managed to find 2 new exits to the sewers. One of them ended up right outside the abandoned warehouse, while the other ended up deep inside the shanty town to the west. The warehouse should be close to the tavern I visited earlier, so that's where I'm heading. Luckily, it's not far, so I reach it without encountering any more mobs. I climb out of the hatch and soon find myself poorly lit room. Looking around, the warehouse has been mostly stripped of all its belongings. There are a few piles of torn rags in the corner, which I assume belong to some squatters that have long since abandoned this place. Several of the windows are broken, and the door has been unhinged. It could have been a nice place to rest, but not in the neighborhood. The chance of waking up with your throat slit by some punk is a bit high. It's a pretty neat spot for an exit to the sewers, though. I wouldn't have found it if I didn't come from down below. When I look around, it's actually surprisingly hidden. I only need to move a few boxes to completely hide it, and I'm certain that it's easy to place something heavy on top of the bar entry from below. It's a nice choke point, and I need to remember this if I ever find myself at a pinch. I'm about to have a better look around when there's a movement in the warehouse's door. Spinning around, my heart almost threatens to burst from my chest as I lay my eyes upon a poorly dressed dwarf. For frick's sakes! I told you to stop sneaking up on me like that. I groan as my beggar casually walks towards me. Reaching me, he grunts once before the blue window appears. Your agent, Dwarf Beggar 5, has uncovered 2 secrets. Running on fumes. Job type, heist. Difficulty, medium. Deadline, 14 days. Reward, 250 experience, unknown. A local novice alchemist has recently set up his laboratory in the neighborhood. Most think it's because the rent is cheap, but the local informant revealed that the alchemist in question has been brewing concoctions that have been deemed unsafe by the authorities. The alchemist never leaves his home, but due to the repugnant smells, his neighbors should have vacated the area. Do you wish to accept this job? Burglarizing bard. Job type heist, difficulty hard, deadline 5 days, reward 400 experience unknown. The local Bard's College has trained many well-known adventurers and performers. Their charismatic displays are only rivaled by the lords themselves. Rumors on the street claim that the Bard's College has commissioned several pieces of armor for the newly recruited apprentices. The guild is frequented by strong adventurers, but their college doors are always open to visitors. Do you wish to accept the job? Not bad, I mutter as I read through the 2 jobs. Something really strikes me, though. Both of these jobs seem to be tailored to my general needs. I felt like my necromancer missions were similar, but this confirms it. The first quest, running on fumes, seems to be a job directly tied to the acquisition of my poisoner. Similar to the first job I received, I noticed the job descriptions directly points to what the loot is going to be. A widow's grief told me about the jewelry of Sergeant Divins bought for his wife, and I ended up with 2 high-quality rings and a necklace for my troubles. If that is any indication of what I can gain, when the running on fumes job will allow me to steal basic ingredients and equipment required for my poisoner to perform her job. I am certain it's no coincidence how the job happened to appear now. It's convenient. Game logic convenient. No matter though, I am not going to complain that this golden goose turns her eyes in my direction. The second job seems to also be related to what I need. For level 5 character, I'm actually still reasonably undergeared. I haven't been able to scrounge up a lot of money, and unlike regular players, I don't even have access to a fraction of the number of quests that they can perform to quickly and efficiently strengthen their equipment. Since bards and thief lords are both characters who heavily rely on equipment that boosts charisma, it's reasonable to assume that we compete for the same type of gear. If I want enchanted armor with boosts to charisma and don't have the same options as a group up and raid dungeons the traditional way, then what better way to acquire this gear than to steal it from a bard? Anyway, good thing this is a game, so nothing is stopping me from accepting both of these jobs. A small part of me is also grateful that the 2 jobs don't appear to be morally dubious as robbing a widow was. I may still be a game, but certain things still leave me with a sour taste in my throat. Normally, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid at these sorts of jobs, but I'm still a little shaken after what I'm doing in Anna. I still can't help but feel that it's a little wrong, you know. I shake my head, trying to clear my mind. I really need to stop thinking about it. It's just a game, and I don't even know Anna. Why should it matter if I break her trust? It's actually Anna's own fault that you think about it. She shouldn't be so loose-lipped with her guild secrets around a stranger that she just met and didn't even bother to perform a proper perception check against. This should really just be a valuable lesson for her. Who knows, maybe this will prevent her from entering into a stranger's van in the future, or something. Gritting my teeth, I try to soothe my own mind with a few more convenient lies before I get back to scanning through the job's descriptions. If I have time to worry about my self-conscience, then I have time to worry about leveling up enough so that I won't need to trick Anna anymore. As I see it, both of the jobs should be a viable option. I don't feel that the deadlines put too much pressure on me, and I will most likely perform both jobs within a short time frame anyway. So my real question is, which one of these do I choose? Both of them have great merits. Running on fumes would make sure my newest acquisition, the Poisoner, could start producing poisons and potions at once. The burglarizing bard, however, offers me better equipment and most likely will give me a significant boost to my charisma attribute, which will undoubtedly allow me to recruit more underlings to level up as quickly as possible. As part of me leans towards getting equipment job first, mostly because the deadline is the shortest and it would give me the most significant short-term boost to my abilities. However, my brain tells me that I should start leveling my Poisoner first. This is because the Bard mission has a higher difficulty rating, and I probably need every edge that I can get to make sure that the job is successful. To be safe, I should therefore definitely go for an easier job since I don't really have a second chance to rectify myself if I frick up the Bard job. Gritting my teeth, I have to go with my mind on this one. I need to think long term, and taking unnecessary risks because it's the shortcut is what made me fail as a necromancer in the first place. I need to play safer and smarter if I am to succeed as a villain. With my mind made up, I decide to first take care of the essentials. No matter the job, I still need to recruit a new underling. Considering my battles down below, I realize that I'm in severe need of more combat personnel. Even with 4 capable underlings, I still struggle to end fights with minimal damage. The main reason grinding took so long down there was because I had to spend a large amount of time between fights just to have my underlings regenerate their health points. Sometimes, not having a healer in a group sucks. Scratch that. Not having a healer in a group always sucks. To keep the balance of my party intact, I need to consider which type of underling I need. Since I already have 2 hoodlums, then I believe I should be good for front for time being. Having an additional hoodlum would be great for subduing a pack of rats more efficiently, but it doesn't help me much when I lack the potential of dishing out some damage. Another cut purse would probably give me a great boost to surrounding and finishing off regular mobs and players quickly, but I can't help but worry about my lack of ranged utility. The slowest and most grueling of the mobs grind is definitely the slimes, and trying to kill them off with only one capable underling is too slow to process. Slimes aren't the only enemies that I can only deal with at range, and the sheer utility that they offer cannot be ignored either. I also have to think about the fact that I now have access to 2 upgraded ranged weaponry, and my spotter is currently wielding them both. Being the paragon of efficiency that I am, my sense of logic heavily favors recruiting another spotter, which is exactly what I do. End of chapter. And that, my friends, concludes this match video. If you enjoy the story, please don't forget to go and show the author some support. And if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below. The easiest way to support this channel would be to subscribe and share as much as possible to help this channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next video, and until then I hope you all keep well and safe. Cheers.